Without warning, Queen Camilla's own son leaked a secret video, and it could destroy the monarchy. The footage, captured inside Clarence's house, exposes a chilling plan to erase Diana's legacy. Betrayal, royal manipulation, and a mother undone by her own blood. This is the scandal Buckingham Palace never saw coming. The shocking leak. A video drops without warning. It was just past 11 p.m. when inboxes across the UK and beyond lit up. A mysterious encrypted video link, sent anonymously, landed in the hands of multiple journalists, from legacy newsrooms to independent royal trackers. At first, most dismissed it. Another hoax? Another deepfake? But once verified, the reality set in. The sender was Tom Parker Bowles, Queen Camilla's son from her first marriage. The message was short, chillingly simple. This deserves the truth. Watch it. The footage was time-stamped from 2021. Private. Undeniable. Shot inside Clarence's house. No overlays, no edits, no spin. It wasn't long before editors realized what they were holding. By 3 a.m., the clip was being quietly passed among trusted reporters, some describing it as career ending for someone, maybe monarchy ending for all. Within hours, it was already being dubbed the clip that could collapse the crown. The media held back, barely. Legal threats from the palace arrived by sunrise, but it was too late. Whispers of the content began trending online. The footage hadn't gone public, but it didn't need to. The truth was already loose, and it had Queen Camilla's voice at the center of it. What the video shows: a chilling royal conversation. The footage is grainy but clear. Captured on what appears to be a hidden security camera, the angle faces a dimly lit parlor in Clarence's house. At the center of the frame, Queen Camilla, seated on a settee, flanked by two senior aides. The date stamp reads, October 2021. The conversation, anything but routine. Camilla's voice is unmistakable, calm, controlled. But the words she speaks sent shockwaves through everyone who viewed the tape. They still love Diana, she says. That needs to be redirected. The room falls quiet for a beat before one aide replies, "We can craft the shift before the accession." Camilla continues, discussing narrative control, suggesting that Princess Diana's image still threatens her place at Charles's side. She names names: Charles, Anne, even William. One line reportedly chilled every journalist who heard it. Diana's shadow still walks these halls. It's time we close the door. To outsiders, it may sound like palace strategy, but to insiders, it's something else entirely. A premeditated effort to manipulate public sentiment, erase memory, and solidify Camilla's legacy at the cost of Diana's. The implication is chilling. This wasn't politics. This was a quiet purge. Why Tom turned. A son's private struggle. For decades, Tom Parker Bowles played the part. The calm son, the food critic, the one who kept his distance from palace drama and never spoke out. Until now. Those who know him say he was never comfortable in the royal spotlight, even when his mother became queen. But what pushed him over the edge wasn't ambition. It was loyalty to a legacy that wasn't even his own. Friends close to Tom say he admired Diana deeply, especially after learning what she endured behind palace walls. He'd heard the jokes, seen the tabloids, but it wasn't until recent years that he began to question his own mother's role in shaping that narrative. According to one longtime friend, he felt the institution didn't just fail Diana, it buried her. But that wasn't all. Sources say Tom was furious after watching how Camilla treated Princess Catherine during her health crisis. Dismissive, cold, threatened. Behind closed doors, Camilla reportedly questioned why Kate still gets all the sympathy, while she gets none of the respect. That, insiders, oiders say, was Tom's final breaking point. He respected Catherine. He respected Diana. He saw the pattern, and he couldn't stomach it anymore. The leak wasn't impulsive. It was deliberate, measured, painful. One confidant said Tom viewed it as his act of rebellion, but more than that, his redemption. For once, he wasn't protecting Camilla. He was protecting the truth. Camilla's furious reaction, betrayed from within. When Camilla was told what had happened, that the video had been leaked and the source was her own son, she didn't speak. She screamed. Witnesses inside Clarence's house say she collapsed into a chair, trembling, clutching her phone as if willing it to undo what had been done. Her first words weren't denial. They were accusation. "This is Charles's fault." She reportedly turned on the king, shouting, "You've poisoned him against me!" A ferocious argument erupted between the royal couple. Something, aides say, hasn't happened since the days of Diana's tapes. Camilla stormed out mid-confrontation, weeping, yelling, "He was my son before he was yours, and now he's turned on me." The scene was chaotic. Staff stunned. No one knew what to say, because no one had ever seen Camilla broken like this. Within hours, Camilla vanished to Ray Mill House, her private Wiltshire estate. She's refused to appear publicly since. All scheduled engagements were cancelled indefinitely. Inside the palace, the mood has shifted. There's no damage control strategy, no press statement, only fear. One senior courtier put it simply, "She's not worried about the crown. She's worried about the mirror." Because betrayal from the outside, they've survived it. But betrayal from blood? That's something the monarchy has never recovered from. King Charles, in crisis mode, the crown at risk. As the leak spiraled into a full-blown crisis, King Charles moved faster than anyone expected. There were no morning briefings, no protocol, just an urgent midnight summons to the Privy Council. A step so rare it hadn't been taken since the dark days of Edward VIII's abdication in 1936. Inside that high-security meeting, Charles reportedly stood pale, tense, and visibly shaken. One senior official described him as a man not in control of his crown, but trying to hold on to what's left of it. He didn't mince words. "This is the gravest breach of royal trust in living memory," Charles told the room. And he wasn't wrong. The content of the leaked video had ripped through the nation's faith in the monarchy like a blade. It wasn't just scandal. It was evidence, spoken by Camilla herself, that confirmed long-held suspicions about manipulation, power, and the rewriting of royal history. Immediately, barristers and royal legal teams were dispatched across the media landscape. Dozens of takedown notices, emergency court filings, international copyright claims. But it didn't matter. The video may have been scrubbed from public platforms, but the truth had already escaped. Every newsroom had a copy. Every private server had a backup. Every whisper in every corner of Britain now carried the same name: Camilla. Charles reportedly considered invoking the Royal Secrets Protection Act, a rarely used statute that allows the monarch to classify royal material under national interest. It's a law almost never mentioned and never enacted in modern times. But insiders say Charles was told bluntly, even that can't erase what people already believe. The king is now cornered, not by politicians, not by enemies, but by the weight of silence, consequence, and blood betrayal. Inside the palace, aides described the mood as grim. "We're not spinning, we're surviving," one said. Behind the scenes, Charles is weighing a temporary retreat from public duties, something royal advisors once considered unthinkable. Not because he's physically incapable, but because the public no longer wants to hear from him. And the question of Camilla, his queen consort, his wife, his partner through scandal and storm, is now the greatest threat to his reign. Senior advisors are urging Charles to permanently remove her from public royal duties. Some are even recommending a formal separation in image, if not in law, to preserve what remains of the monarchy's integrity. But others say he's torn, blinded by loyalty, or perhaps guilt, because choosing to protect the crown may now mean turning his back on the woman he once defied the world to be with. The world is watching, Parliament is circling, and the public has spoken. This time, silence won't protect him. This time, only sacrifice will. Because if the monarchy is to survive this storm, it won't be saved by tradition. It will be saved by deciding once and for all who still belongs at the throne's side and who never should have been there to begin with. Royal family splinters. Anne and William take sides. As the palace scrambled to contain the fallout behind closed doors, the royal family began to fracture. The video had done more than tarnish Camilla's image. It reignited every buried resentment, every old wound, every silent grudge. Princess Anne was the first to speak. According to insiders, she confronted Charles directly in a private call, her voice as sharp as ever. "You let this happen," she reportedly told him. "I warned you about her." Anne had always kept her distance from Camilla, professional but never warm. Now, there was no pretense. She was furious, not just at the leak, but at the fact that the words spoken in that video confirmed everything she'd suspected for years. Meanwhile, Prince William was left shaken, not just by the footage, but by the betrayal. The conversation in the video directly referenced Diana, his mother, as a problem to be managed, and worse, it named him. Sources say William placed a heated call to Clarence House. Camilla answered. What followed was a 5-minute exchange of raised voices, one aide describing it as the angriest he's ever sounded. "You erased her," William allegedly said. "You planned to rewrite our mother like she never mattered. And now you've lost everything." He demanded a formal apology, not just to him, but to the public. Camilla refused. Catherine, ever composed, remained silent publicly. But sources say, after watching the video in full, she broke down in private. Not just because of what was said, but because she understood what came next. The corridors of the palace grew tense. Conversations ended when someone walked in. No one trusted anyone anymore. As one senior aide put it, "This isn't just a scandal. This is civil war inside the crown." Public uprising. A nation demands the truth. If the palace thought it could control the narrative, they miscalculated. The footage had never been fully aired, but the public already knew the heart of it. And what they knew was enough to spark a national uproar. Within 48 hours of the leak, over 10,000 people gathered outside Buckingham Palace, holding candles, posters of Diana, and signs that read, "Tell the truth. Release the tape. Diana's voice still lives." Chants echoed through the gates. "No more lies. Camilla must go. Justice for Diana." A petition demanding a public inquiry into royal corruption and narrative manipulation hit over 1.2 million signatures in just 2 days. Social media turned into a war zone. Hashtags like #Camilla exposed, #end the monarchy, and #royal cover-up dominated the top trends. Even normally apolitical celebrities and journalists spoke out. One viral post read, "They silenced Diana once, they won't silence her again." Parliament found itself under pressure from all sides. MPs, some of whom had long supported the monarchy, were now publicly calling for debate on whether the institution still represents modern Britain. A televised panel on the BBC featured one commentator bluntly saying, "The royal family survived infidelity, divorce, even death. But betrayal from within, this may be the end." Public confidence plummeted. Approval ratings dropped by the hour. And for the first time in modern memory, the monarchy faced a threat not from outside, but from the people it swore to serve. The ground under Buckingham Palace wasn't just shaking, it was cracking. The future of the crown: collapse or reinvention. Now everything is on the table. King Charles, already weathered by scandal, grief, and age, is facing a choice that monarchs haven't made since Edward VIII abdicated in 1936: stay and risk the collapse of public trust, or step aside to preserve what's left. Palace insiders confirm he is seriously considering a retreat from public life, either temporarily or permanently. His public appearances have been postponed. His voice has gone silent. But the real weight is falling on Camilla. Behind palace walls, discussions have turned from damage control to containment. Advisors are urging the king to strip Camilla of all public royal duties, for good. She's become a liability, one source said. Not a queen, an exposed wound. Camilla, still isolated at Ray Mill House, has refused all public contact. No statements, no apologies, just silence. But the public isn't waiting. As for Tom Parker Bowles, the man who set it all in motion, he's vanished. His phone is off, his location unknown. Sources believe he's staying abroad, under private protection. Some fear retaliation. Others call him a hero. He didn't just expose a scandal, one royal historian noted. He exposed a truth the crown never wanted us to see. Now all eyes turn to what comes next. Some say this will lead to Princess Anne being elevated to restore trust. Others believe Prince William may take on more power to stabilize the institution for a younger, modern audience. But the damage is done. And one former royal aide said it best. The monarchy has survived scandal after scandal, but betrayal from blood, that's not scandal, that's collapse. As the crown teeters, the betrayal cuts deepest from within. Camilla's silence, Charles's panic, and Tom's rebellion have torn open wounds the monarchy tried to bury. Now, the nation watches, not for tradition, but for truth. And in this storm, one thing is certain: not everyone will survive the fall.